Howdy, I'm Robbie Bland, and this is my new show where I will be talking about comic books. What I'm hoping is that by doing this show and by creating another avenue to talk about comics, hopefully I can spread the good word, get more people reading comics, get people reading comics they don't normally read, trying new things, and I think to just kind of get the wheels spinning on this channel, I want to do, for the time being, a weekly show, very low key, very simple, low maintenance. That way, I'm not taking too much time away from my regular efforts at stop motion, but instead just taking a little bit of time every week to talk about some of the stuff I've been reading.
He's Robbie Bland.
Yeah, the Crocs, the Venom pants, the Hulk smash shirt.
My name is Rex, and I'm a dog nigga.
And to round out our inaugural show today, a book I really enjoy is Dog Ningen, Volume 5, from DH Animations and art by Serbian Hero. You read the title and you think this is going to be absurd, it's going to be edgy, it's going to be potentially offensive, and then you open the book and it's supposed to be read like a manga, so you don't read it from the front, you read it from the back. It warns you that the book will be offensive or disturbing or controversial. And then you dig in and you realize it is surprisingly one of the most raw, human, emotional books you could pick up. This book definitely started as kind of a joke. What if I made a book called Dog Ningen, except I'm using, potentially volatile language, and its main character Rex, the dog Ningen in question, his opening lines are, I'm gonna, rape my dad, I'm gonna bite your dick, and it's just this silly, edgy parody of manga tropes and comic book tropes. And then the story was enough of a success that DH and Serbian Hero kept it going, and now we've arrived at this volume which is about childhood trauma, struggling to relate to other people, rejection, exclusion from society, the issues with abusive upbringings. It's powerful, and the art is amateurish but evocative. You feel what you're supposed to feel. There's a scene where the police officer character Ukuo goes into kind of his backstory, where he had to shoot a person who was in a dangerous mental state where they were seeking to be suicided by police. And it's sad because it seems like that was the only thing Ukuo could have done to protect people, to protect himself. He's being charged with a knife. He fears for his life. It's a bit bold to go after some of these very dark, real world problems, but I think the book Dog Ningen takes it seriously enough to help talk about these issues honestly and with a lot of humanity, and I think that's very impressive. I was inspired by the author notes at the beginning of this book, where DH said when he was a baby, he was diagnosed with a rare condition called hypohidrotic ectodermal dysplasia. Studies show that less than 0.005% of the Earth's population have it, And when he was a newborn, he almost lost his life several times. He got sick. His parents thought he wasn't going to make it, but he kept fighting back. And now he's 22 years old and the author of Dog Ningen. Never give up. And our other illustrator here, Serbian hero, when he was 9, his mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. After a 3-year struggle, she died. He didn't want to admit it, but it affected him a lot. For 4 years after her death, he did not cry a single time. He didn't even realize the pain he was feeling until he finally got to cry. He cried for her and he felt better. His ending statement is, "Don't forget to cry." And I think that is kind of what the intention is with this American-made English manga here, is to not forget to cry and to keep fighting and to keep moving forward. It has this really emotional chapter where Rex, the Dog Ningen, the child who is half dog, half man, wants to relate to other children by playing ball, but they reject him and they laugh at him, and it's very painful for him to be put in this position where other children don't respect him and don't like him and they tease him and they hurt him, ultimately ending with him going home to his awful father, where his father hurts him very badly, and it's emotional. I think there's a lot of love that goes into this volume and this series, and even though it is on volume 5 in print, there is a lot more to read in the webcomic version. I have not caught up on the digital comic just yet. I usually prefer to read my stuff in print. I feel like I can connect to it better when it's in my hand and I can move through the pages, but after this most recent arc here, establishing these characters' backstories more, I feel like I have to go read the digital stuff and get caught up, because I just can't get enough. I can't get enough of Dog Ningen. It's very good. This volume also was interesting in that it walked back some of the more edgy and provocative things that volume 1 did, having Rex explain that some of the more absurd things he said, like how he was going to rape his father, weren't actual statements of intent, but statements that he was making to scare people away from him, to isolate himself. And as I mentioned, I am a big Hulk fan. There is something very special about a character who says, "I just want to be left alone." I don't know. I think I really like Rex, and I keep joking that Dog Ningen is like if Chainsaw Man was good, and obviously I do think Chainsaw Man is good, but I also think Dog Ningen is very good, and it deserves a lot more eyes on it.
Because of my father, I've had to live my life as a freak, rejected by society. So one day, I'ma find that man and rape him.
I would say my favorite pick of this week was absolutely Dog Ningen Volume 5. I was super excited when I saw that they were finally putting out Volume 5 in print. I had been demanding it on DH Animation's comment section for a while. I hope we get Volume 6 soon. And with that said, this has been Robbie Bland talking about comics. If you want to see what else I do stop motion animation on my main channel, Bland Clan Videos. I have a new video coming out later this month. We'll have Beta Ray Bill fighting Starfire, Marvel vs. DC, orange people fighting each other. It's going to be pretty fun. It'll be a shorter one, but I managed to pack it full of action. And I also do a movie review talk show with my friend Israel. We do Trying to Talk About, wherein we watch a movie and try to talk about it and end up going on some rather interesting tangents, comparing those movies to other movies or just talking about movies that aren't even related to the topic at hand. It's a fun time. I think, despite our silly tangents and off-topic nature, the show is a lot of fun, and there's a lot of interesting conversation happening. Beyond that, I am a Star Bandit. I run a non-profit here in Texas focused on giving money and opportunities to other artists like ourselves. We are currently pushing a campaign to sell some donuts to raise some money for our efforts to put on a stage play festival at the end of the year. We did one last year. We want to do another one this year. It's going to be big. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I'll be writing a show for it, hopefully getting to direct again. Special shout out as well to my best friend Caleb King, who is currently trying to kickstart his own comic, which I hope to someday talk about on this channel. Swallowed Still, the Kickstarter link will be in the description, and here's some nice little visual stills. It is good. It's emotional. It's a very human-driven story about one person's attempt at fatherhood, being blinded by what you could call toxic masculinity, or a forced perspective on what masculinity is supposed to look like that ultimately lets down not just himself but the next generation, and how he attempts to recover from that. It's a very good story. I have watched this comic grow from a script that he wrote that I helped review into a very beautiful comic with some amazing art, and I am super excited to be able to hold it in my hand someday. So be sure to check out some of the other stuff I'm doing, some of the other stuff my friends are doing, and I will see you next week. Adios.
He's Robbie Bland. He's Robbie Bland. Mr. All That in the Sheets, Captain America on the street. He's Robbie Bland. Welcome to the Robbie Bland Show. Welcome to the Robbie Bland Show.